Fine, thank you.
You want to work on something about an elevator kind of fear that's coming up for you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Most of my life I've felt fearful in elevators. And although I still use elevators, if I can avoid them, I won't.
Okay. So I want you to just imagine that you're going to step into an elevator now. And vividly imagine that, and what comes up when you think about stepping, just the part of stepping into an elevator. Are you feeling anything in your body?
Yeah, a little bit of a queasiness in my stomach. There is one thing I should say. If I'm familiar with the elevator, like it was in my mother's condo and I know it and it's reliable, then I don't feel as fearful. But a strange elevator, that's the biggest problem.
Okay. All right. When was the last time you stepped into a strange elevator?
Maybe about a year ago.
And can you vividly remember
Yes.
that elevator?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so imagine stepping into that strange elevator and the queasiness in your stomach. Give me a number on the suds, 0 to 10.
About 6.
A 6. Okay, let's go ahead and tap on that. So find your karate chop point and repeat after me. If I ask you to say anything that doesn't sound true, you'd like to say it in a different way, something else shows up, please feel free at any point to correct me, jump in, and give me your own words.
Okay.
Great. So tapping repeatedly on the karate chop point at a pretty quick pace. Tap, 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 tap. Go ahead and repeat after me. Even though I feel all this queasiness in my stomach,
Even though I feel all this queasiness in my stomach,
stepping into a strange elevator,
stepping into a strange elevator,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this queasiness in my stomach,
Even though I feel the queasiness in my stomach,
stepping into that strange elevator,
stepping into that strange elevator,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this queasiness in my stomach,
Even though I feel this queasiness in my stomach,
stepping into that strange elevator,
stepping into that strange elevator,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Great. Start of the eyebrow points, this queasiness in my stomach.
This queasiness in my stomach,
Side of the eye, this queasiness in my stomach.
this queasiness in my stomach,
Under the eye, this queasiness in my stomach.
this queasiness in my stomach,
Under the nose, stepping into that strange elevator.
stepping into that strange elevator,
Chin point, all this queasiness in my stomach.
all the queasiness in my stomach,
Collarbone, stepping into that strange elevator.
stepping into that strange elevator,
Under the arm, stepping into that strange elevator.
stepping into that strange elevator,
Top of the head, all this queasiness in my stomach.
all the queasiness in my stomach.
Good. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And I want you to think about stepping into that strange elevator. What's the level of queasiness, the intensity now?
It's about a 4 to 5 now.
Okay. Any thoughts come up around that? More than just stepping into it? Anything show up?
Yeah, the feeling of being in a very close, unknown place that has the possibility of danger.
And let me hear what danger you're thinking about.
Well, I'm mostly concerned about the mechanics that they may fail when I'm halfway up. The shaft will break or something I'll push the wrong button and I'll be there and I won't be able to breathe.
Okay. All right, so I want you to tell me which one of those is highest. The mechanics will fail and then you'll be stuck halfway up, or that you'll push the wrong button.
They're all pretty high.
Which one's higher? Just pick one.
Higher. The mechanics of being stuck halfway up.
Okay. And the level of intensity on that, is that higher?
It's higher.
Okay, go ahead and tap on the karate chop point and tell me what number of intensity that is. The mechanics will fail and you'll be halfway up.
6.
Okay. Are you still feeling it in your stomach?
Yes.
Great. I mean, not great, but sorry. Karate chop. Even though I feel this queasiness in my stomach,
even though I feel this queasiness in my stomach,
that I'm afraid that the mechanics will fail,
that I'm afraid the mechanics will fail,
and I'll be stuck halfway up,
and I'll be stuck halfway up.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm afraid I'll be halfway up,
even though I'm afraid I'll be halfway up,
the mechanics will fail,
the mechanics will fail,
I'll be stuck,
I'll be stuck.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of this fear,
even though I feel all of this fear,
the mechanics will break,
the mechanics will break,
I'll be stuck halfway up,
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Eyebrow. This fear in my stomach,
The fear in my stomach.
side of eye, I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
Under the eye, I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
Under the nose, I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
Chin point, I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
Collarbone, all this fear in my stomach.
All this fear in my stomach.
Under the arm, all this fear in my stomach.
All this fear in my stomach.
Top of the head, this fear in my stomach.
This fear in my stomach.
Good, take a deep breath.
It's gone down.
Good. Let me know what level of intensity you're at right now.
4.
A 4. And is it still the mechanics will fail and you'll be stuck halfway up?
Yeah, yeah, that plus the feeling of being closed in is. But the mechanics are definitely behind it all.
Okay.
I don't like being closed in either.
But that's not higher than the mechanics will fail and I'll be halfway up.
No, it's the mechanics that I worry about.
Okay. All right. And have you ever had that experience before?
No.
Okay. Just
Not
checking.
that no.
Okay.
I mean, there's been a time when the elevator stopped, but there were people in there with me, and then it got going again. But
Okay. And how long ago was that incident?
I don't think it was quite a long time ago.
Uh-huh. Okay. Do you remember that particular event?
I may not be able to recall it very clearly. No.
Okay.
It's
Are you feeling anything in your body right now?
a little fear, a little tension, a bit
Okay.
of sweating.
Okay. The fear and the tension and the sweating as you focus on that particular event?
No, on the idea of the event more than anything.
On the idea of it actually
that it
happening?
could happen.
Okay. All right. So go ahead and tap on the karate chop point. Even though I feel sweaty,
Even though I feel I'm sweating
and I'm feeling all this fear,
and I'm feeling all this fear,
the mechanics will fail.
the mechanics will fail.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel this fear,
Even though I feel this fear,
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear,
Even though I feel all this fear,
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
An eyebrow. This fear,
This fear,
side of the eye, this fear,
this fear,
under the eye, all of this fear,
all of this fear,
under the nose, all of this fear.
all this fear,
Chin point, I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
Collarbone, the mechanics will fail.
The mechanics will fail.
Under the arm, I'll be stuck halfway up.
I'll be stuck halfway up.
Top of the head, all of this fear.
All of this fear.
Good, take a deep breath. Okay, how are you feeling right now?
It's actually much more removed now. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, the actual imagining of it would be stronger than the actual thinking that I am going to be in that position.
Okay, so I'm getting a 2, but I just want to confirm that with you. As you're imagining in that strange elevator that the mechanics will fail and you'll be stuck halfway up. Give me a level of intensity.
Ooh, a 7.
It's a 7. What made it jump up?
Oh, just the feeling of not being able to breathe, and I was
Uh-huh.
on my own. And
Okay, So not being able to breathe and on your own, which one of those is higher? And tap on your karate chop point.
On my own.
Okay. Are you still feeling it in your stomach or somewhere else?
I'm feeling it more in my stomach still.
Okay. Karate chop. Even though I feel all of this fear in my stomach,
Even though I feel all of this fear in my stomach,
I'll be on my own.
I'll be on my own.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear in my stomach,
Even though I feel all this fear in my stomach,
this fear that I'll be on my own,
the fear that I'll be on my own,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of this fear,
Even though I feel all of this fear,
I'll be in that strange elevator
I'll be in that strange elevator
on my own.
on my own.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Eyebrow. All of this fear.
All of this fear,
Side of eye. I'll be on my own.
I'll be on my own.
Under the eye. All of this fear.
All of this fear,
Under the nose. I'll be on my
I'll
own.
be on my own.
Chin point. All of this fear.
All of this fear,
Collarbone. I'll be on my own.
I'll be on my own.
Under the eye. All of this
All of
fear.
this fear,
Top of the head. I'll be on my
I'll
own.
be on my own.
Good. Take a deep breath. Okay. How are you doing?
I feel better. You know, it's just basically it's an idea that I'm on my own now that it seems to be predominant.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in this enclosed space and
Mm-hmm.
I'm helpless.
Okay. I want you to tap on your karate chop point and tune into that feeling of being on your own and being helpless. Where is that showing up in your body?
Right in my pit of my stomach.
Pit of your stomach. I want you to tune into that feeling in the pit of your stomach, and I want you to invite your body to direct us back to the earliest memory it has of feeling that same way, whether it's related to an elevator or not. Invite your body to send us back to the earliest memory it has of feeling that same way. How are you doing?
Well, I'm not sure that I can go very far back and think about that. I'm a little stuck.
Okay, I want you to tap on your eyebrow points, side of the eye. I'm feeling stuck.
I'm feeling stuck.
Under the eye, I'm feeling stuck.
I'm feeling stuck.
Under the nose, I'm feeling stuck.
I'm feeling stuck.
Chin point, just like I'm stuck in that elevator.
I'm stuck in that elevator.
Collarbone, I'm stuck with where this leads to.
I'm stuck with where this is leading to.
Under the arm, feeling stuck.
Feeling stuck.
Top of the head, feeling stuck.
Feeling stuck.
Good, take a deep breath. And go back to tapping on your karate chop point. That feeling of helpless, being on my own, where is that still showing up in your stomach?
Yeah, it
Okay.
would be.
All right, tuning into that, ask your body to take you back to the earliest memory it has of feeling that same way. And there's some part of you that already knows the answer. Let's give that part of you permission to speak. Whether your conscious mind believes that it's connected or not.
I think the feeling of being alone and helpless is a strong feeling, although I can't attach it to a specific event at this point.
Okay. Did you feel that way when you were 20?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel that way when you were 15?
Yes.
Did you feel that way when you were 10?
Not entirely alone, but yes.
Mm-hmm. Did you feel that way when you were 9?
Yeah.
Did you feel that way when you were 8?
Yes.
Did you feel that way when you were 7?
Yes.
Did you feel that way when you were 6?
Yeah.
Did you feel that way when you were 5? Keep tapping on your karate chop point. And just your best.
It's sort of a nebulous feeling at that point. That
Okay.
there's something wrong.
Okay. All right. And is that nebulous feeling, can you recognize if it was with you at age 4? And your best intuitive guess is fine.
No, I think it wasn't there then. I think
Okay.
it became.
All right. All right, I want you to... Good, I want you to tap on your karate chop point. Even though I have this feeling at age 5,
Even though I have this feeling at age 5,
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this feeling of age 5,
Even though I have this feeling at age 5
of being on my own,
of being on my own,
of feeling helpless,
I'm feeling helpless.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this feeling at age 5,
Even though I have this feeling at age 5
of being on my own,
being on my own,
of feeling helpless,
I'm feeling
I
helpless.
deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Eyebrow. Feeling on my own,
Feeling on my own,
side of eye feeling helpless,
feeling helpless,
under the eye feeling helpless,
feeling helpless,
under the nose on my own,
on my own,
chin point feeling helpless,
feeling helpless,
collarbone on my own,
on my own,
under the arm feeling helpless,
feeling helpless,
top of the head on my own.
on my own.
Good. Take a deep breath in and out. Anything come up?
Well, my palms are very sweaty.
Okay. Okay.
There's just I think it's just a beginning of feeling very insecure and fearful.
Mhm. And if there was a reason why you would feel insecure and fearful, it would be, what were some of the events, some of the circumstances around age 5 having to deal with this? And tapping on your karate chop point. You're doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel that I won't be protected anymore
Uh-huh. And by whom?
by anybody.
Okay. Parents?
Parents, grandmother.
Mm-hmm. And why? What would lead you to think that? At age 5, I won't be protected anymore. Something to do with school?
Yeah, maybe it is.
Okay. Okay. Do you remember going to school?
I do remember the first day of going to kindergarten.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I want you to think about that and tell me where you're feeling it in your body.
Oh, in my stomach.
Okay. Karate chop. Even though I feel all this fear,
Even though I feel all this fear,
feeling I won't be protected by anyone,
feeling I won't be protected by anyone,
going to school for the first time,
going to school for the first time,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm afraid,
Even though I'm afraid,
feeling all this fear in my stomach,
feeling all this fear in my stomach,
going to school for the first time,
going to school for the first
I
time,
deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear,
Even though I feel all of this fear,
feeling I won't be protected by anyone,
feeling I won't be protected by anyone,
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Good. Eyebrow, all of this fear,
All of this fear,
side of eye, going off to school,
going off to school,
under the eye, on my own,
on my own,
under the nose, all of this
all
fear,
of this fear,
chin point on my own,
on my own,
collarbone not being protected,
not being protected,
under the arm, going off to school,
going off to school,
top of the head, on my own.
on my own.
Good, take a deep breath. Okay, how you doing?
Fine, I think I can certainly remember going to kindergarten.
Okay. How are you feeling about that first day now?
Well, it's. I have a memory of it. It's just not. I don't really have a feeling about it anymore.
Okay.
It's just the memory of it, and I remember it being very, very frightening.
Okay. And just tell me what went on that first day so we can test how we're doing with the feeling. So you tell me what you remember, the memory that comes to you about going to school that first day.
Well, I remember walking with my grandmother to the door of the kindergarten, and she was just leaving me there.
Okay, hold on, hit pause. How are you feeling?
Terrified.
Where do you feel in your body?
In my stomach.
Even though I feel terrified.
Even though I feel terrified.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling terrified.
Even though I'm feeling terrified.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm feeling terrified.
Even though I'm feeling terrified.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Eyebrow, feeling terrified.
Feeling terrified.
Side of eye, my grandmother's leaving me at the door.
My grandmother's leaving me at the door.
Under the eye, feeling terrified.
Feeling terrified.
Under the nose, having to go in.
Having to go in.
Chin point, without my grandmother.
Without my grandmother.
Collarbone, all of this fear.
All of this fear.
Under the arm, all of this fear.
All of this fear.
Top of the head, all of this fear.
All of this fear.
So take a deep breath. Okay. We didn't check that suds level, but I was feeling it was very high. What is it right now? You're standing at the door, your grandmother's leaving you.
Awful.
You're still feeling it?
No, I can sort of think of it as it was then, but I don't feel it now.
It's a 0?
It was a memory. Oh, it's a 0 now.
So go ahead and tell me the rest. Your grandmother left you at the door.
Oh yes, and I was supposed to go in, and it was dark, and there was
It was dark.
unknown. Ah, yeah, that's right.
Dark and unknown.
And unknown.
Okay, just saying dark and unknown. Are you feeling anything in your body? Yes. In your stomach?
Yes.
Okay. Even though I feel all this fear.
Even though I feel all of this fear.
Stepping into the dark and unknown.
Stepping into this dark, unknown place.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear in my stomach.
Even though I feel all of this fear in my stomach.
Stepping into the dark unknown.
Stepping into this dark unknown.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear.
Even though I feel all of this fear.
Stepping into the dark unknown place.
Stepping into this dark unknown place.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Eyebrow. All of this fear in my stomach.
All of this fear in my stomach.
Side of the eye. All this fear in my stomach.
All of this fear in my stomach.
Under the eye. Having to step into that dark unknown place.
Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Under the nose. Having to step into this dark unknown
Having
place.
to step into this dark unknown place.
Chin point. Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Collarbone. Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Under the arm. Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Having to step into this dark unknown place.
Good. Top of the head. Stepping into this dark unknown place.
Into this dark unknown place.
So take a deep breath. Okay, how you doing?
Yeah, it's definitely I mean, it did happen. And I ran out and was screaming.
Okay. Okay.
But it's an image in my head. It's not a feeling more now.
Okay.
You know, it's just a,
So your stomach is still neutral, fine, as you're remembering you running out.
yeah. I just didn't want to go into that room.
Okay. Okay. So how are you feeling? And so is there more? Did you eventually go into the classroom?
Well, just a feeling that there were foreign things that I didn't know about.
Okay. And as you're telling me this now, are you feeling anything in your body?
Just tension, just sweating,
Okay.
nervous.
All right. Not very high. Give me a number.
No,
Give me a number.
Maybe a 2.
Okay. Karate chop. Even though I feel this nervous tension,
Even though I feel this nervous tension,
being in that classroom,
being in that classroom,
and the fear of the unknown.
and the fear of the unknown,
Say it in your words again.
that there were unknown things that would happen to me there that I didn't know about. That there were people there that, I don't know if it's people. Yeah,
All right, tap on the karate chop point. Let's see if something comes in as a solid, oh yeah, it was the people or the place or something about it, then just jump in. Karate chop, even though I feel this fear,
even though I feel this fear
fear of the unknown,
in
that classroom,
in that classroom,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear,
even though I feel all this fear
of the unknown, stepping into that classroom, I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all this fear,
even though I feel all this fear,
stepping into that classroom,
I
deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Eyebrow, fear of walking into that classroom.
Fear of walking into that classroom.
Side of eye, fear of walking into that classroom.
Fear of walking into that classroom.
Under the eye, fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown.
Under the nose, as I step into that classroom.
As I step into that classroom.
Chin point, all of this fear.
All of this fear.
Collarbone as I step into that classroom.
As I step into that classroom.
Under the arm, fear of the unknown.
Fear of the unknown.
Top of the head, stepping into that classroom.
Stepping into that classroom.
Good. Top of the, sorry. Take a deep breath. And how are you feeling right now?
I feel better. I feel fine.
Okay. Okay. So as you're remembering the rest of that day, still a 0?
Yeah, I didn't go in.
Okay.
My grandmother took me home.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that was okay.
Okay. So now I want you to think about stepping into that strange elevator.
Right.
How's that?
Well, it's further away. It's just basically it's a sort of a gray type closed space that I don't know about.
Okay. And there's still fear? Is there any fear left about the mechanics failing?
Not as much, no.
Okay, how about going in, pushing a button, doors closing?
Yeah, that's not good.
Okay. The part of the doors closing?
The door closing
Yeah.
and me being in the one by myself and not knowing what to do.
Okay, 0 to 10 on that.
Well, that would be a high one.
Where are you feeling in your body?
Well, a 7.
Stomach or somewhere else?
Well, sweating. I'm sweating a lot.
Okay. Karate chop, even though I'm sweating a lot, fear of stepping into that elevator, doors closing and I'm by myself, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I feel this fear in my stomach, and I'm sweating, by myself in the elevator, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm sweating, feeling all this fear, doors closing, and I'm by myself, I accept myself. Eyebrow, all of this fear, side of eye, I'm sweating, under the eye, all of this fear, under the nose, doors are closing, chin point, I'm by myself, collarbone, I'm by myself, under the arm, doors are closing, top of the head, and I'm by myself. Okay, take a deep breath.
Well, it's definitely gone down a lot. It was much better not being in that elevator. But
So what do you think is left?
I fear that I won't be able to get out, that the door won't open.
Okay. Fear 0 to 10.
say it was a 6, but the door won't open up again. I won't be able to get out.
Okay, and that 6 is showing up where in your body?
In my stomach.
All right. Karate chop. Even though I'm afraid,
Even though I'm afraid,
I won't be able to get
I
out.
won't be able to get out.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of this fear,
Even though I feel all of this fear,
I won't be able to get out.
I won't be able to get out.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I feel all of this fear,
Even though I feel all of this fear,
I won't be able to get out.
I won't be able to get out.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Eyebrow. I'm afraid I won't be able to get out.
I'm afraid I won't be able to get out.
Side of eye, all this fear in my stomach.
All this fear in my stomach,
Under the eye, I won't be able to get out.
I won't be able to get out.
Under the nose, all of this fear.
All of this fear,
Chin point, I won't be able to get out.
I won't be able to get out.
Collarbone, I won't be able to get
I
out.
won't be able to get out.
Under the arm, I won't be able to get
I
out.
won't be able to get out.
Top of the head, I won't be able to get
I
out.
won't be able to get out.
Give me a level of intensity now.
It's gone down.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot.
yeah,
I don't know why, but it just dropped.
yeah. So 0 to 10?
I don't know. Maybe just 1 or 2.
Okay. Karate chop. Even though I still have some remaining fear
Even though I still have some remaining fear
that I won't be able to get out,
that I won't be able to get out,
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I have this remaining fear,
Even though I have this remaining fear,
I won't be able to get out.
I won't be able to get out.
I certainly got out of that classroom.
I still have the classroom.
And maybe I can let this go.
Maybe I can let this go.
Even though I have some remaining fear,
Even though I have some remaining fear,
I won't be able to get out.
I won't be able to get out.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Eyebrow, this remaining fear.
This remaining fear,
Side of the eye, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear,
Under the eye, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear,
Under the nose, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear,
Chin point, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear,
Collarbone, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear,
Under the eye, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear,
Top of the head, this remaining fear.
this remaining fear.
Good. Take a deep breath. How you doing?
Feeling much better.
Okay. Okay. So I want you to just picture that elevator that you stepped into a year ago, and you're there. Anything showing up in your body?
No, I think I can handle it.
Okay. But this isn't about going through and feeling the pain and doing that sort of thing. So I just want you to be sure.
Uh-huh. Well, to be honest with you, I would take the stairs still. But I sort of feel that, you know, you have to take some chances.
Okay.
It probably won't fail. I'll probably be able to handle it.
Okay. So what might be left, which is an interesting aspect of this, is that you might be afraid that it's still there.
Yeah, I might be afraid that the elevator door won't open, or that the mechanics are going to fail. That's still a possibility.
But you can't actually grasp the suds level on it?
Well, that stress I don't think is really, yeah.
Because when it's that kind of amorphous and it's a low number and you think of all the aspects and it's still not coming up, but you're still scared and you would not take an elevator, then I suspect that it's the fear of the fear. So let's do a round of that. Karate chop. Even though I'm afraid that Alima's going to stick me in an elevator to test this. It might not be over.
It might not be over.
I might still have this fear.
I might still have this fear.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I'm afraid this is still around,
Even though I'm afraid this is still around.
the next time I'm confronted with an
The
elevator,
next time I'm confronted with an elevator,
I'll be afraid.
I'll be afraid.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Even though I might have the fear of the fear,
I might have a fear of the fear.
that might be all that's left.
That might be all that's left.
I deeply and completely accept
I
myself.
deeply and completely accept myself.
Good. Eyebrow. This fear that it's still around.
This fear that it's still around.
Side of eye. The fear I may have to face this again.
The fear that I might have to face this again.
Under the eye. The fear that it's not really gone.
The fear that it's not really gone.
Under the nose. Because it's been with me so long.
Because it's been with me so long.
Chin point. I've had this fear for a very long time.
I've had this fear for a very long time.
Collarbone. Part of me might not know what it's like to be without it.
Part of me might not know what to do without it.
Under the arm. This remaining fear.
Say that again.
This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
Top of the head. This remaining fear.
This remaining fear.
Good. Take a deep breath. How are you doing?
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's just, you know, I think I can handle even, you know, doing it because
Okay.
it's, I mean, it's silly to have that.
All right. So we don't have an elevator here, but we can test it in a room because you were feeling it before when you stepped in and started thinking about it. So do you feel comfortable doing that?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.